right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Ullum.
Yes.
Odie. Klumper. Saxer.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
All right, with that, if there's no changes that need to be made to the agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve that as presented tonight. So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No conflict of interest disclosure waiver request tonight. That takes us to approval of our regular meeting minutes from August 13th and August 27th. If there's no questions or concerns with those, I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Community input, there is none listed for tonight. That takes us to our financial items. Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, I'll entertain some questions. I did not have anything noted to point out to the board tonight on the bill listing, so if you guys had anything that you had a question on, fire away. 750,000, just under 750,000 of bills, $4,800 of advance payments, $46,000 of pay vouchers, and $95,000 of food service bills.
Any questions for Mr. Lundberg at all tonight on the bills and claims? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented tonight. So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Financial report, Mr. Lundberg.
Okay, the cash report for the month of August, I'm reading down the third column, the total column, came into the month with $7,370,000, $2,265,000 of receipts in the month of August, and $5.4 million of disbursements. I did want to point out on the disbursements this July, last month and this month, 5.4, this month 5.7 million, last month in July. That's about, it's about 2.5 million more than a normal month would come in, being the beginning of the year, and we're paying for all our projects and all that stuff. So you can see why we need a cash balance to cash flow this organization throughout the summer months before the tax draw comes in. So 2.7 to 3 would be a normal month of expenditures, I guess is what I'm trying to. So at the end of the month, we had 4.2 million, 3.8 million was in the general fund, 273,000 in the special education fund, 51,000 in the pension fund, and 46,000 in the enterprise fund. You'll see in the body of the cash report too, there was a couple of interfund transfers there, basically loans between the funds to cash flow them until the tax receipts come in, 1.3 million in the capital outlay fund and 52,000 in the bond redemption fund. The $2,265,000 of receipts are itemized for you on the next two pages. $1 million CD at First National Bank. The payroll for the month of August was 1.4 million. We'll kick in with a new payroll next month with all the new teacher salaries and administrator principal salaries and stuff, so that'll all kick in next month. And lastly, the trust and agency statement showed $106,000 of monies that we're holding for other organizations. Next month will be our first actual quarterly financial report, at the end of September. That's all I have for you.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Lundberg tonight on any of the financial report items? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented, please.
So moved.
Second. There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. That takes us to general business. First item we have is administration reports from the Administrative Center. Superintendent Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. just a couple of quick updates for you. Construction-wise, our high school classroom remodel renovation, again, punch list work continues. That work is being done after hours and on weekends to not interrupt instruction throughout the day. Facility Review Committee, I would note that this aligns specifically to our strategic plan in the area of facilities and operations. It's a proactive approach to planning for growth. As we previously presented, all of our buildings have still space for student growth. Naturally, some of our buildings aren't staffed so we have some empty rooms and whatnot, but as far as space goes, we do have space for students. So this is a proactive approach to planning for growth. We'll be meeting 4 times. That group of 30 will meet on those respective Wednesdays. Those meetings will take place here at the high school community room. Certainly appreciate all of the participants for their insights and feedback through that process. That group will develop non-binding facility recommendations and also develop a long-term growth vision of the Brandon Valley School District. Tentatively anticipate a report to the Board of Education at your second meeting in November. Also want to note, September is Attendance Awareness Month in the state of South Dakota as proclaimed by our Honorable Governor. I would note that in accordance to our strategic plan, student achievement and parent-community relations, along with the state campaign, there's also a district and school campaigns in that area, communication to parents surrounding the importance of attendance, etc. I would tell you that administratively, we are currently engaging in some conversation surrounding how to curb chronic absenteeism within our schools. It's really important to note that a very, very small percentage of our students are chronically absent. However, chronic absenteeism has such a tremendous impact on student achievement and student learning that it warrants conversation. So we are certainly digging into chronic absenteeism within our district as well. Note, audit of our FY18 books will take place, again, aligned to our strategic plan area of fiscal responsibility. The audit is scheduled for September 7th and September 18th. I would expect a audit report for the Board of Education shortly thereafter. An item to note, the 17-18 public report card is delayed. You would note that in previous years, you would have already heard about our reading proficiency levels, math proficiency levels in comparison to the state of South Dakota, other AA schools, et cetera. You'd have gotten a state of the schools address from the central office. That is delayed and has been delayed by the Department of Education. There's a few reasons for that. The transition to ESSA being the major one, which is the federal law. So please note the tentative release is in December. It has thrown a little bit of a wrinkle into our general process for the development of school improvement plans. So our administration, our building principals will be using the preliminary data that they have to create their school improvement plans, as that's a really important piece of our planning process as we work for improved student achievement. Associated School Boards will be holding some region meetings, so I would invite any and all of our Board of Education members to participate in those events. Wednesday, October 3rd in Yankton, Thursday, October 4th in Madison, Thursday, October 11th in Mitchell. If you are available and interested in attending, feel free to get a hold of us at the central office. We'll get you registered and get you on the books for that. Then just a couple items to note regarding academic calendar. No school staff in service on October 8th. October 15th, we will hold our first night of parent-teacher conferences. That will be for the elementary and high school buildings. October 16th, another night of parent-teacher conferences for the intermediate school and middle school. October 19th, no school for Comp Day. November 12th, no school for Veterans Day. And then our Thanksgiving break is Wednesday, November 21st through November 23rd. With that, I would certainly field any questions you may have.
I actually just have one quick question. The school board meetings in those 3 locations, what time does that happen? Do you know, is it like afternoon, evening?
School board meetings?
Yeah, like
Are you talking Facility Review Committee?
like the Associated School Board.
Oh, Associated School, they're in the evening. I believe they start at either 6 or 6:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Yep. If you have one specific item or one meeting in general that you want information on, I can send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for Superintendent Larson? Thank you very much. Mr. Lundberg, anything else tonight? All right, so I want to publicly say on behalf of the board, we wish you much success in your bid for the mayoral seat, and we look forward to watching you lead, learn, and serve in that capacity. So that's very exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. High school, Dr. Talcott. Mr. Schleckaway. Mr. Thorson.
Oh, there you go. Well, I was here 2 weeks ago and told you that we rolled out the computers that Monday, so we've been 2 weeks into it, and it is going very, very well. Obviously, we've learned a few things in 10 days of school. The big one is the bags all look alike, so sometimes we get them interchanged. So now we have gone to like ribbons on luggage and some of those types of things, so that has helped. But all in all, you ask a student how it's going, it's always thumbs up or great or whatever. And I know it's new, but you can walk up and down the hallways, and we have teachers using them on a daily basis. So I anticipate that it will continue to go well. We will continue to focus our professional development this year on the use of computers and different ways we can use them and that sort of thing. So all in all, 2 weeks after we hand them out, it's all good. Questions?
I just wanted to give you, I know we caught each other in the hallway, but not only was there a lot of great pride on the football field for our first game on the turf, the other thing that was very surprising was the number of students and parents that caught me at the football game that said how impressed they were with the computer rollout.
Awesome.
As well as they are with the machines.
Thank
so
you.
Just kudos to you and your
Thank you.
staff.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thorson. Mr. Skibsted, anything tonight? Mr. Babb? Ms. Foster? Mrs. Hofkamp? Mr. Horst? And Mrs. Palmer? All right. Ms. Nelson, anything tonight? Mr. Henschel? All right. Mr. Marcel? Good, thanks. All right. Unfortunately, we do not have any board policy to discuss tonight. One of our favorite areas. With that, we go to general business items. Consent approvals number 1 and 2 is presented. I would entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. So, do you want to take the next one, the information only? Oh, okay. So, we have a special guest with us here tonight. It is over on that table. And we would like to recognize and accept the Blake Shelton autographed electric guitar that was donated to the Brandon Valley School District from Greg and Sherry Carmen. So we want to thank them for that, addition to our community at the high school, and very much appreciate it.
If I could, Renee.
Yep.
The Carmens brought that in, and they wanted to donate it in appreciation for their kids' past activity or participation in the band program. They were just always very impressed with the band program in the high school, just so appreciative of the entire school district, and they wanted to donate it in hopes that it would entice some more kids to get into the band program, maybe just kind of as that. These people are so benevolent. They just contribute and contribute and contribute, and very unassuming people, and it's just, we are so blessed to have them in our community and our school district. It's a fabulous thing. Thank you to the Carmens.
Thank you very much. We have 4 items under consent approval for personnel. I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
Move to approve personnel items 1 through 4.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. There's one item there for information only about a maternity leave request. There are some building permits listed under there for August of 2018 for you to view if you so choose. Couple thank yous for staff appreciation, back to school luncheon, t-shirt, and also from all the kitchen managers for getting to attend this SNA conference in Las Vegas. That takes us to formal reports. Does anyone have a formal board report tonight that they would like to share?
Sure, I'll share a little bit about our Curriculum and Technology Committee meeting we had earlier this evening. So Director Sherry Nelson really helped us drill down into the domains of student achievement, specifically with science skills and increasing our science skills in the schools. We talked about, and she shared information about the mystery curriculum, K-5, gave us some examples about what they're doing with that. Sounds like some really good stuff. So we're excited to see how that continues to go. In addition to the focus on the science skills, we talked about science and STEM, science in the high school with the iBook, and just kind of how that's all going to be going and playing out as we move forward. We talked about the staff development domain with PD and relevant PD and personalized PD and some feedback from the staff on how that went at the beginning of the school year. Seems like there's some interesting things coming our way with graduation requirements, the apprenticeship program becoming even more effective, and the conference, the ability to engage parents more in the conferences at the high school. So I'm excited about some of those things to see how they go, and I think they're going to be real assets to our district. So that was pretty much the gist of that meeting.
Thank you. A little bit about alternative education. Sometimes I think we forget that the alternative education, Teach Well, our legal name is EDEC. It now goes by Teach Well. That is the alternative school that we have for West Central, which is Hartford, Brandon Valley, us, and Lennox. So just to kind of remind, sometimes I get those questions, so just to kind of, as a reminder at the beginning of the school year. Also to let you know that we also, as part of that teaching community, hire all the teachers for McCrossin Boys Ranch. So, it's not just the building on 14th, it's the Boys Ranch and the qualified and skilled people that we have out there that take on very, very difficult behaviors and do great jobs, and we've been graduating a lot of those boys that are out there. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, and also let you know that if anyone is ever wanting to go down to Teach Well, see how it's run, Joan Freevick and the staff more than welcome guests and visitors. They like to show what they can do. So just kind of an open invitation there.
I can, Renee, just to maybe for you to pass forward to East Dakota, Joan and the staff. I was approached by a community member that had a graduate from I call it the high impact program. I'm too old to know what the current term of that was, but they just extolled the virtues for their son of that program, and it got him the degree that he needed, and it turned him around. So they were very pleased with that program.
On behalf of the kind of the student activities portion of things, just speaking, we obviously had phenomenal activities around Pigskin Classic. Speaking around the turf, looking at leading up to that, we've already spent, I know we're approaching close to that 100-hour mark, or maybe over now, of 100 hours plus of time that's been spent on that field. So a lot of time that was spent on practice, but across many different activities, from the band, soccer, practice, where prior, if we had that grass out there, which was beautiful, would have been 15 hours maybe. So just that difference in time. So I know it's been used, loved, it was beautiful. It's been lots of success for our teams as well as the band. So I know it's been appreciated and lots of compliments. So I think the sense that we had out there was, there's been that Lynx pride, but even I think they're seeing it, it's even kind of elevated. So I want to share.
Anyone else have anything else they would like to share tonight? If not, that looks like it takes us to the end of our normal agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.